Hey everyone, this is Kevin Rothzen, TA for Channel Seed in Illinois. Coming to you today from a field in Knox County, Illinois. And what I wanted to start out talking about is fungicides. We're coming to a point now where we need to make our decisions on what we're going to do. And a lot of our corn is either in waist to shoulder high. I even have some early planted stuff in mid-April that is over my head high already. So we're approaching that time really quickly, and we need to make that decision on fungicide, whether we're going to do it, what we're going to spray, and in our timing. There have been some reports in Illinois that there is some tar spot being found. I can't say that I've found it yet, but I know some of my colleagues have, especially as you get north of I-80. We're starting to find some spots and some corn on corn. So it's definitely a time where we've had the moisture for tar spot to start progressing. We are going to be getting a lot of heat this week, so that might slow it down a little bit, but it's still going to keep progressing. So if we've already started seeing it in the field, that means it's already been infected, and it's in most of the plants now. I'm not trying to sound an alarm yet. I'm just trying to let you guys know that we have found it in Illinois, and we need to make our precautions and start making our plans to help manage it throughout the rest of the growing season. So I would say a lot of our fields in that V8 to V12 range. I am not saying we need to go spray all of our acres currently, but we do need to be making plans to be spraying at that VT time frame. And to be making sure we're using the fungicides that help control tar spot. We have a very strong tool in our toolbox with Delaro Complete. If you are going to be using Delaro Complete, I would definitely use it on the higher rate range. That is one of the benefits we have of Delaro Complete, is that we have that huge rate range we can use. So on years where it might not be quite as disease, we can lower our rates. But if we're already seeing tar spot, we need to make plans to be using our 10 and even 12 ounce rate of Delaro Complete, because the higher the rates, the better control we get, and the longer control we get out of that. I mean, I'll be out this week scouting fields to see where I can find it, where exactly we've been finding it. I know there's reports from my colleagues up in that Bureau Lee County area. I know there's been a confirmed tar spot found in McDonough County, a little south of our area, but it's still there. So we need to go out and be scouting our corn on corn fields, and maybe some fields that we've had some issues with tar spot in the past. Now moving on to soybeans, we're not in that time frame we need to be spraying fungicide in soybeans yet. The earliest planted beans that I know of, I went and looked at them late last week, and this starting to put on flowers, so we're rapidly approaching that R1 time frame. R1's a big growth stage for us because we start losing the opportunity to spray some of our herbicides, and if you do spray herbicides after that R1 time frame, you have a greater risk of aborting flowers and aborting pods, which ultimately decreases your yield out there. So just need to watch out where we know what our growth stages are, so we know when to do our post applications, and if we have any applications we need to go after some late water hemp, you know what herbicides you can be using. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to myself or your other local channel technical agronomist. We'd be glad to help walk you through what those restrictions are, what products you might be able to use. Overall, I've been out of the office. We were on vacation last week and a half, haven't been out in the field quite as much over this last week and a half. That's why I didn't get a video out last week. But been encouraged by what I've seen. The crop's grown a lot. It's going to really take off here. 4th of July is next week. I think a lot of our early planted corn is going to be really close to that tassel time frame by then. And the beans, I know, kind of feel like they're going slowly, but if we're reaching R1 now, they're going to flower for a good 3 to 4 weeks, and they're going to keep growing up as they do that. And as we get into the later stages and reproductive stages, those are going to get nice and tall for us and bring a lot of yield. So overall, encouraged with what I'm seeing in the field. Nothing's really scaring me for harvest this fall yet. We've been lucky to miss some of the heavy winds that some of the eastern side of the state received here middle of last week. So I think yield potential is still there. That's why we need to make sure we're still planning on spraying our corn with fungicide to keep that yield potential up and keep tar spot under control. As always, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Be glad to talk and help work through anything you guys need help with. Have a great week. We'll talk to you later. See ya.